and welcome to our first lesson here on my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be looking at tariff systems, and as we all know, there's a few types of tariffs. We have water tariffs, we have electricity tariffs, transport, phone bill, and car parking, and other more. So today we're only going to be focusing on the main three, which is electricity, water, and transport. So first, we're going to start with electricity. And as you can see here, we have a tariff table and a statement. So first of all, the first thing that you should do as a grade 12 learner, when you encounter a question paper about tariffs, first thing you need to do is to go through the table, to go through the tariff table and make sure that you understand each and every single information on the table and you don't miss anything. So first of all, you should go row by row. So you go to the first row. When you get to the first row, it's written cost per unit. And when you look at this line, they've told us here that they charge cents per kilowatts. They charge what? Cents per kilowatts. This information is very, very important. You will see as we do the calculations. So when you go forward looking at the table, you see that they've told us that if the person uses any units from 0 to 50, they charge them 69.36 cents. Please be very careful. This amount is in cents, not in rands. The numbers also should just talk to you. There's no way a person can pay 69 rands 36 cents just for a single kilowatts of electricity. It's way too expensive. So yeah, you should note the information. They will tell you if they charge in rands or cents. So you should always note that. So when you go forward, here they tell us that from 50.1 to 350 kilowatts, they charge the person 81.60 cents per kilowatt. Same thing goes on with the next line. So as you continue looking at the table, there's information here. Usually this kind of information, they write it in small letters. Just that if you are not reading the question paper carefully, you will miss the information. So it's written that NB, prices exclude 15% VAT. So what this means is that the prices that we've been given here does not have VAT included in them. So if a question comes that you should write the prices including VAT, that means that you have to add 15% to these amounts. So now we have gone through the table, we understand each and every single information here on the table. Now we go to the question. So on the question says that how much would a household pay including VAT? Including VAT. Remember, the prices do not include VAT. They exclude 15% VAT. So the question says, how much would a household pay, including VAT, if they used 286 kilowatts of electricity in the previous month? So first thing you have to do here before you could answer the question is to make sure that you convert these amounts. Since they're written in cents, make sure that you convert them into rands so that you can be able to make the calculation very easily. So first thing first, we convert these amounts into rands since they're written in cents. So we all know that when you convert money from cents to rands, you divide by 100. Why do we divide by 100? Because in a rand, 1 rand has 100 cents in it. So when you convert from rands to cents, you divide by 100. So you're going to start with the conversion. You're going to start with this amount. You're going to say 69.36 cents divided by 100. Whatever amount you're going to get is going to be in rands. So let's go with our calculator. It's 69.36 divided by 100. Please press it on your calculator as well, just in case I make some mistakes. So what we have done is that we have converted this amount into rands. It's in rands now. We're now able to use it, but let's just do all of them. We go to the next one. It's 81.60 cents divided by 100. The answer will be in rands. It's 100. It gives us 0.816, and then we do the last one, which is 127.02 divided by 100. It gives us 1 rand 2702 cents. And please do not round up these numbers yet. When we're calculating tariffs, we only round up the final answer. Otherwise, we do not round up. So now that we have these amounts in rands, so the first method that I will actually advise you to use, this one is the easiest method because it's just so easy. So you're going to draw a table like this. They allow you on the exam paper to draw the table. So on the first block, you can write that it's block 1, it's block 2, and it's block 3, right? Block 1, block 2, block 3. So you write the interval of the kilowatts. It's 0 to 50. It's 50.12, 350, 350.12, 600, right? So on this block, you write the actual interval between these two numbers. So from 0 to 50, we all know that the interval will be 50. So it's 50 kilowatts, right? And then here, so the trick to calculate this is that you should subtract the number above by the number below in order to get the interval for the space. Please do not say 350 minus 50.1 because your answer will be incorrect. So you should say 350 minus 50, right? Which will give you what? 300, right? And then you go to the next block, the third block, which is the last block. You do the same thing you did on the previous block. It's 600 minus 350. Please make sure that you don't make the mistake of saying 600 minus 350.1 because it is going to be incorrect. So it's 600 minus 350. It gives us 250, right? So you have written the interval, you have written the amount of kilowatts, and then now you are writing what? The price on this block and multiplying it by the number of kilowatts you have on the block before, right? So we take the first amount, which is this amount. Remember, we converted it into rands here. So you're going to take this amount and say 0.6963 multiply by 50. Multiply by 50 kilowatts. So it's 0.6963 multiplied by 50. It gives you 84 rands 815. You do not round up. You don't round up. You're only going to round up the final answer. So the same thing happens. You go to the next block, but the problem comes here. Now you have to be careful. Remember, we're calculating the amount for only 286 kilowatts of electricity. But here our interval is 300, which is more than 286. So what you have to do, please do this somewhere beside or on your scribbler. On your scribbler, please. You're going to say 286 kilowatts, right? Minus 50 kilowatts because you have already determined the price for the first 50 kilowatts. So you minus the 50 kilowatts from the amount of kilowatts that we have been given on the question. So when you subtract it, when you say 286 minus 50, it gives you 236 kilowatts. So this is the amount of kilowatts that we are left to work with. And when you look on our table, the number that we're left with is less than the number we have here on the table. So that means that you're just going to take the whole number and multiply it by the amount for block 2. Remember, this one is for block 1, this one is for block 2, and this one is for block 3, right? We've already used the one for block 2, for block 1. Let's cancel it. Now we're going to block number 2, right? So the amount on block number 2 is 0.816. You multiply by the number of kilowatts we are left with, 236. And you press that on your calculator, 0.816 multiplied by 236. It gives you 192.576. You do not round up. So this block, you're not going to use it. Why are we not going to use it? Because we are out of kilowatts to determine the price for. We've already determined the price for the amount that we've been given, which is 286. So that means that now what you have to do is that you have to add these amounts together. Remember, this amount, 84 rand 815 cents, is the amount that they charged this person, this household, for the first kilowatts of electricity that they used. So we're now going to add the amount for the remaining 236 kilowatts. So the amount is 192.576. You add the amounts together. It's 34.815 plus 192.576, and then all in total they give you 227.3891. Now this is where you get to convert your answer, to round up or down your answer, right? And here, since the last unit of the number is less than 5, you're just going to leave it as it is. It's going to be 227 rands 39 cents. So this is the amount that they're going to charge this household for using 286 kilowatts of electricity. But you are not done, because if you remember very carefully, the question said that you should include VAT on the amount that they're going to charge this household. So this is the amount that they're going to charge them, but it does not have 15% VAT included in it. So you have to add the 15%. And how do we do that? What you have to do is just to say this amount multiplied by 115 over 100. So what this means is that you want to add 15% to the 100%. This is the 100%. So we are turning it into 115%. So you say 115 over 100. And then when you press your calculator, it's going to be 227.39 multiplied by 115 over 200. And then this is your final answer, 261.4985, and then when you round it, it becomes 261.50. So this is the amount that they're going to charge the household for using 286 kilowatts of electricity with 15% VAT included in it. So yes, this is how we calculate it. And now I'm just going to clear the board, and then next we are doing water tariffs. Yeah, so we are now on water tariffs, and we have a similar table to the one that we had before on electricity tariffs. And when we go through the table, this one doesn't really have so much information. So on this side we have kiloliters, and then on this side we have rents they charge per kiloliter. So between 0 and 6 kiloliters they charge 8 rands 28 cents. On here it's on rand. They've told you here that it's in rand, so you won't have to convert anything. So the question here says, how much would a household pay if they used 15 kiloliters of water? So using the same method we used on the previous question on the electricity tariffs, we're also going to use it here. So remember, on this table you write the blocks, right? It's block 1, block 2, block 3, and block 4, right? So it's block 1, block 2. Let me write them here as well. Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. So you start with the first block, block 1, right? So you write this interval, it's 0 to 6. So now you have to figure out what is the interval between 0 and 6. So we both know that it's 6. So you write 6 here, right? You go to the next block, it's 6 to 10. You write it here, 6 to 10. And then what is the interval between 6 and 10? So here you do what? You minus 6 from 10. You say 10 minus 6, right? And then it'll give us 4. You write the 4 here. You go to the third block, and on the third block on your table, you write the same thing, 10 to 15, and then you now write the interval. You say 15 minus 10. Please remember that we use the number above, not the number on the same block, right? So we say 15 minus 10, it gives us 5. So it's 5 here. We go to the last block, which is the fourth block, right? It's 15 to 20. You rewrite it here. And then the interval from, you say 20 minus 15, it gives you 5. So now that you have figured out the intervals and the number of kiloliters they charge, so now that you also have prices here, what you have to do is just to say 6 kiloliters multiplied by the amount on the first block, which is 8 rand 28 cents. 8.28, and then you press it on your calculator. You say 6 multiplied by 8.28. It gives you 49.68, right? So you are done with the first block. You have already determined how much they're going to charge this household for the first 6 kiloliters of water they have used. So remember, somewhere on our scribbler we write 15 and minus 6, because we've already found the amount for the first 6 kiloliters. So it's 15 minus 6, which gives us 9. So that means we're only left with 9 kiloliters to determine the price. Okay, so you go to the second block, and when you get to the second block, on the interval we have 4 kiloliters. Okay, we have 4 kiloliters. So you're just going to take the 4 kiloliters that we have and multiply it by the amount on block 2 on the table that you have been given. So it's going to be 4 multiplied by 8.79. 8.79. Yeah, and you're just going to write the answer on the same block. So it's 4 multiplied by 8.79, which leaves us to 85.16. So this is the amount that they're going to charge this household for the next 4 kiloliters of water that they're going to use after the first 6 kiloliters. So now that we have determined the price for the next 4 kiloliters, we go back to our scribbler. And from the 9 kiloliters that we were left with, we minus 4. We minus 4 kiloliters, and then that leaves us with 5 kiloliters. So now we're only left with 5 kiloliters to determine the price. So we are now on block 3. As you can see, the interval is 5, right? It's 5 kiloliters, and we're left with 5 kiloliters. So you're just going to take the whole of 5 kiloliters and put it here and say 5 multiplied by the amount on the third block. On block 3, you write on block 3, right? So you're going to say 5 multiplied by 15 rands. 5 by 15, which gives us 75 rands. So now that you have calculated the amount for the last 5 kiloliters, you are done calculating for the 15 kiloliters. So now what you have to do is to take these amounts and add them together. You add them together because the first one is for the first 6 kiloliters, the second one is the 4 kiloliters, and the last one is for the 5 kiloliters. If you add 6 plus 4 plus 5, they give you 15 kiloliters, which we've been given on the question. So what you do now, you say 49.68 plus 35.16 plus 75. I'm just going to write the answer here. Yeah, so now that we are done with our scribbler, I can just erase this. Okay, so we add all these numbers together. It's 49.68 plus 85.16 plus 75, which gives us a total of 159.84. So this is the amount that this household will have to pay because they used 15 kiloliters of water. So this is the first method that I actually like to show you. There's another method, but I would actually advise you guys to use this one because it's more organized and it's in a tabular form and it's not confusing. So I'm not going to erase this. I'm just going to write the next method here. So another method to calculate water tariffs is that you're just going to do, it's very similar to this one. It's just that it's not organized as this one. So first thing you have to do, you determine the interval here from 0 to 6, which is 6. So you just say 6 kiloliters multiplied by the amount on the first block, 8.28. I'm just going to take the answers from this one because we've already calculated them just to save time. So 6 multiplied by 8 for the first block, right? You write the answer below. So our answer was 49.68, right? So since you've calculated the amount for the first 6 kiloliters, you can, that thing that we did on the scribbler, on this method, you can just do it with the answer. So you say 15 kiloliters, multiply the first 6 kiloliters, because we already know the price for it, and then you're left with 9. You're left with 9 kiloliters. So you go to the next block, right? This is just to keep track, just so you don't get lost and forget how many kiloliters you were left with and end up doing wrong things. So you go to the next block, you determine the interval between 6 and 10. You say 10 minus 6, it gives you 4. You say 4 kiloliters multiplied by the amount on the same block, which is 8 rand 7 79 cents, and then you write the answer here. The answer is 35.16, and then because you calculated the 4 kiloliters, you're going to say 9 kiloliters that you were left with and minus 4 kiloliters which you just calculated the price for, and then you are left with 5 kiloliters. So now we go to the third block, right? We determine the interval between 10 and 15. You say 15 minus 10, it gives us 5, and then it gives us 5, and then we're left with 5 kiloliters. So you're just going to use the rest of the 5 kiloliters that we're left with and multiply it by the amount on the same block, which is 15 rands, and the answer is 75 rands. So now that you have found the amount for all these kiloliters, you found the amount for the first 6 kiloliters, for the second 4 kiloliters, and for the third 5 kiloliters. So what you can do, just so you don't get lost, remember this is the answer for the first block, and then this is the answer for the second block, and this one is the answer for the third block, right? So you add all these answers together in order to get the total amount for the 15 kiloliters. So you're just going to do the same thing we did on the previous method. You're going to say 49.68 plus 35.16 plus 75, and then when you add them all together on your calculator, that will give you the same amount, which is 159 rands 84 cents. Yeah, so these are the two kinds of methods that you can use to calculate tariffs. They are more or less the same actually, but it's just that this one is a bit complicated since it's not organized. So now I would actually advise you guys to use this one. It's more organized and the answers are just so specific. So I would advise you guys to use this one. So yeah, these are the methods that we use to calculate tariffs. You can pause the video and rewrite everything. In the meantime, thank you so much guys for watching my first lesson, my first grade 12 lesson. And please do not forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel, and also there's a link below the description. Please go like and follow our Facebook page just so you get updated in terms of when I'm going to be uploading my next videos and which topics and chapters I'll be covering. Thank you so much guys. Please don't forget to study smart, not hard. Thank you. Bye.